We're live.
Hey.
Quick and easy.
Quick and
And
easy.
we're all back. Everyone's here.
Yay!
Everybody's here.
I'm in a new house.
Oh yeah,
I did it.
share with the podcast the perks of the new house.
It's got a big room. This is a base. This is all super basement. It's real big. But it's all obviously very much not unpacked yet. As you can see by all the boxes just kind of scattered around everywhere. Still got a ways to go.
Yeah, that takes a while though.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What have you unpacked?
The rest of the house, basically. Mine was last because I left for a while. But I've got all of NES out and all of Super Nintendo out. And that's
At any point did you think to yourself, I could just leave these in the boxes? I could just that could be their space and they'll be in
what
the
his
boxes.
job is, he literally can't.
I literally cannot do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, that's 50 boxes worth of games. There's no easy way to store that without like just getting like a trailer or something to put them in, or the garage.
Have you ever just considered being like a Call of Duty streamer, and then you could box up literally every other game that's not Call of Duty?
God, that'd be so much easier.
Well, yeah, let's talk about where you've been. You've been gone for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run through all the things. I want to hear about them. Let's just start from the beginning. I guess the first thing was the Borderlands 3.
Oh God, it has been that long.
In LA.
It's been almost a month. Yeah.
It's been. I think you've been gone for 4 episodes.
My God. All right. Well, let's get caught up then. Yeah. No, I got flown out to LA for Borderlands 3, the big gameplay reveal stream they did, an event. And then they let me stream it for, I think it was an hour, 2 hours, I forget.
Yeah, I watched like, I don't know, 2 minutes of that just because that was weird. It was just like noisy. You're obviously on a show floor.
Yeah.
It was to the rep off mic.
It was weird. It was really weird. So they had I'm trying to think how many computer banks they had there. Like 200 computer banks, maybe more. Probably somewhere from 200 400, I think is the number I heard. And they were set up just for streamers. So they invited people there. We were on the third event, which was the actual live stream they did, but the other two were like pre-embargo, like behind closed doors events. And then the last one was also just streamed out. You came in, you sat down in the audience, and then they did the live stream where they showed off gameplay, showed off all the new things they've done. And then they were like, yeah, now you guys can go just get hands-on and either record it or you can stream it out to your audiences if you're on Twitch or Mixer. So they had me stream it out, and they had me test this new Twitch extension, which lets people who link their Shift accounts to
Shift account?
That's what 2K uses for like certain things. Like Borderlands 2 used it.
It was the one that Randy Pitchford would give a code out like every week to like download stuff.
Okay. Shift keys.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that like Uplay? Is that like their launcher or something?
No, it's not even a launcher. You don't even need it to play the game.
Okay. All right. So it's just like you just make like a Shift account. Like it's like I have my Epic account. Is it like that?
Yeah, kind of.
All right.
So like the way it works is that if you linked it to that extension, as I was finding rare guns in the game, you could like look at my layout and try to mark them aside to grab later. Or I think you could straight up like order the guns if you had in-game currency or something like that. But the big thing was whenever I found a rare loot chest crate, random members of the audiences won one of those guns for their file.
Weird.
Which was honestly kind of neat. Yeah.
Okay.
So a bunch of people that they're going to boot up the game and they're going to have like rare guns ready to go for them.
Right.
Like it's a cool idea.
Until they find like another gun that is obviously way more powerful and like
I mean that is the nature of the beast. So.
Yeah.
But no, it honestly played like it honestly just played like a better Borderlands 2, which I think is really what they should have done at this point.
Did you get any sense of, and I don't know if they talked about this, but when they first announced Borderlands 3, the big question was like, a lot has happened for the loot shooter genre since then.
Yeah.
You know, they're like always online now, public events, you know, constantly changing kind of stuff. Did they talk about that at all, or did you get any sense of like if any of that is going to be in the game, or is it just going to be Borderlands 2 again?
Honestly, yeah, that was my concern, was like, what are they going to do since it's been so long since between 2 and 3? And I kind of didn't get a vibe that any of that stuff is going to be in it. It does
weird.
feel like, it does really feel like just a better Borderlands 2.
I wonder if it's going to feel outdated.
I don't know
if it's going to feel like it's like missing something.
I mean, we still have time. They could just be hiding certain things. Like, we haven't even seen half the characters be playable yet, so.
Right.
But I don't know, man. It did seem like, I don't know how else to describe it other than like tightened Borderlands 2. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just were like, no, we're not going to add any of that stuff in.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I feel like that gives the game so much more legs and like a lifespan. Otherwise, you know, I'll just play through it and I'm done. Then they lose out on any like money I could be putting into it. Who knows? Did you get to meet Randy Pitchford himself?
No, he was on stage and I was like in the second row, but no.
Damn, I was gonna ask how many cards did he ask you to draw?
No magic card trick this time.
How many USB sticks did he have on him?
Only one, apparently. He can't afford one for his porn to keep it separate.
It was a magic trick. Excuse you. It was magic.
What a weird... yeah, Jesus.
Okay, let's just do all like the show stuff out of the way before we continue. This is the Top Down Perspective for May 30th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
And I guess let's just keep going down with what's been going on with John.
All right. So yeah, after that, I flew out to Myrtle Beach for the Runaway Guys Coliseum 2. This was our, I guess, now annual charity event we do for Direct Relief. And we kind of, I came in a day late because of the Borderlands event, but I was still there for the start of it. We did 4 days of 12-hour streams, raising money for Direct Relief. We shot like a bunch of crazy bumpers and stuff like that. We had about 18 people there, I think, including some new musicians we had come in. It was a lot of fun. It was really good. And we raised, after the bonus stream, I think it was $181,000. So.
Wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
No, it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait for them to ask us to do it again. And it already seems like they're already asking. So it's just
who's asking for you to do it again?
Direct Relief and the Zeldathon crew, the people who've helped us organize the previous two.
Oh, I thought this was just like Runaway Guys organized this thing.
No, we got approached by Zeldathon to do the side event, and then we did the first one like that, and then like we just kind of wait for like Zeldathon kind of handles the like, all right, here's where we're gonna do it. And like once we narrow down where everyone else can easily access, here's like a good location, here's a good time, and then we just kind of all meet up.
Isn't it at someone's house?
No, it's been at two Airbnbs so far.
Oh, I thought they were at like I honestly thought it was one of the Runaway Guys' house. And they just went there.
The bonus stream they did at a Meals, but everything else was at like an Airbnb both times.
Okay. Right on. And they like book the guests or the musicians, I guess.
No, we add the guests. Like we have total control of the guests. We have total control over the events like that happen during it. It's just they kind of handle the logistics more than anything.
Okay. Okay. Right on. Well, that's cool. Yeah, for you, man.
So that was fun, and then got back the 7th, and then had to put everything in a moving truck on the 9th.
All right.
So got back, got everything packed up. cleaned everything out. We gave the keys over to the new owners on the 10th. We had the keys for this one, I think, right before I left for Coliseum. And we started unpacking things, and then things went very bad here. We had the ceilings painted right before we moved in, and we had them use a paint called Kills, which is meant to get rid of like smoke odors, because the people who lived here prior were smokers.
Right.
Reese thought they were going to use a latex-based one, which
turns out it kills humans. Oh no!
Yeah, actually, pretty much. Actually, it's not entirely wrong. We asked them to use like a latex-based one so it wouldn't like gas us out, basically, but they didn't. They didn't have it, so they used the oil-based paint and then covered it with a latex paint after, so it kind of got trapped inside, and it basically gassed us out for a week. So
weird.
Reese was in the room when they were painting it, or I guess the living room rather. And as a result, she kind of had like major issues with the fumes, and she started having like, hallucinations and like panic attacks and just like overall these major health issues with it.
Okay.
So she had to stay in a hotel a bunch of nights, and me and the cat were both perfectly fine. So we just stayed here and like started trying to unpack other things. Meanwhile, but then on the 16th, I had to leave again for a TRG recording trip. So I've had to leave Reese with all these renovations to get done and all this other stuff. Sean, you still there? No, I was just making sure. Should I keep going or wait? Paul, I don't hear you.
You don't hear me?
I do now.
Oh, maybe Discord's just shitting itself then.
It might just be Discord being Discord.
Yeah. Good lord. I blame Sean.
I guess I'll keep going while he's in the void. Yeah, so that happened, and we had to deal with that. Afterwards, I had to leave Reese with all these major renovations, and then Yep. Hi, Sean.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I could hear you guys the whole time. Discord crashed for me. So
weird.
Okay.
That'll be a weird audio chunk for the audio listeners.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to leave for a TRG trip, so I ended up in Atlanta for a week and a half, recorded some stuff for TRG, and then we went to MomoCon to guest there.
Right, okay.
And, yeah, so we had a couple panels there. We did a Q&A. We did our throwing controls as usual. We did a meet and greet. They had some crazy guests there this year at MomoCon. They had Charles Martinet. They had a bunch of other voice actors from like Cartoon Network shows and stuff like that. They had Patrick Warburton.
Oh, weird.
Okay. All
yeah.
right. I'm trying to think, like, what is now that Series of Unfortunate Events ended? I wonder if he's like busy. Maybe he's just like not. I don't know what he's doing.
I know he's in a bunch of commercials too. Like he does, like, was it rental car commercials right now or something like that too?
Cool.
He was just a guest at the con. Ruben Langdon, Dante's voice actor and mocap actor, was there.
Okay.
So they had like a bunch of like crazy guests this year. It was actually pretty
Wait,
cool.
like if I get the Devil May Cry 5 special edition, will I see him?
No, because you'll see the Japanese devs doing the acting out for the cutscenes.
Okay.
So.
All right.
No, it was a good time. Honestly, probably one of the better MomoCons I've been to. So it was fun.
Cool.
Nice.
Also, for some reason, Bakugan was there. Like, remember that old game Bakugan?
That sounds familiar, but
Yeah,
what is
I'm trying
Bakugan?
I'm trying to place it.
It's like a card game, but you had like these little toy capsules that you put down and they turn into robots.
Oh yeah. Okay. What do you mean they were there?
Apparently, Bakugan's making a revival, and they
like
had
the
like
toy company Bakugan, like the toy line or whatever was there.
The toy line was there. They had like a giant arena for people to go and play Bakugan in.
With like giant toys or just
like with like actual sets. They had like 12 like stations to play Bakugan. They had a steel cage you could play against the producer in. Like it was nice. Weird, and like the booth they had was huge. It was like the size of like 4 or 6 standard booths. It was weird.
Is there like a new show or something?
Apparently, yeah.
I'm
Apparently
on
they had a new show.
Bakugan.com, and the news and events are Bakugans at MomoCon 2019, and the next one is full episode 3 is now up on the YouTube channel.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't know either. That's weird. Did you play some Bakugan?
No, I chose not to because I was too confused why it was there to approach it.
Yeah.
Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
Hell yeah.
Oh, the new
yeah.
series premiered on December 23rd, 2018.
Oh wow, so it's real recent.
And
like 5-6
Teletoon in Canada
Mhm.
premiered it on December 31st, so New Year's Eve event.
Ooh,
We'll
fancy.
gather everyone around for some Bakugan.
Apparently, I had a bunch of people tell me on Twitter, like, yeah, they changed the way the game works now, so apparently it's much more interesting. So that's also why it's having a successful revival.
Okay.
It's more strategic, apparently. So
Cool.
I don't remember anything about this show.
I don't either.
Nope.
I remember those capsules. That's it. The little spheres.
Was
that
there
they
a
go
card
across,
game?
like...
I seem to recall having cards or no, I think I'm thinking of Duel Masters. Do you remember that?
Oh my god, yes.
That was a card one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I have Duel Masters, or I had Duel Masters cards. Oh yeah, I definitely did. So maybe I don't really know what Bakugan is, because this is what I was thinking of.
I remember when we worked together, we had one at the store. And there was like just like
a Bakugan?
A Bakugan, like it had been traded in or something. It was like this little like round sphere, but then if you put it over anything metal, it turned into like a little tiny stand-up robot. And I don't know if it was you or Nathan was kept playing with it all the time.
It must have been Nathan, because I don't remember this. Although I wouldn't have been surprised if there was just a Bakugan in like behind the counter, because there was just a ton of shit everywhere from like promos and stuff. Anyway, all right, Bakugan.
Yeah. So then I got back from MomoCon and now I'm unpacking. So that's where my life's been.
Nice. When's your next trip?
In 3 weeks.
What is that? It's not PAX.
Too many games in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Have you gone to this before? I've never heard of this.
Nope. First time.
Okay, cool.
I'm excited for this. Apparently, like if you like buying games or like if you're a game collector, it's extremely good to go to. And apparently the con itself is super chill.
Okay.
So like James Rolfe goes a bunch. Trying to think of what other known guests. Vine Sauce goes. Like a bunch of like well-known YouTubers go. So it'll be nice and relaxing.
I don't know anyone you just said. Will
You don't know
Ninja be there?
Video Game Nerd? You don't know the Angry Video Game Nerd?
I've heard of that. Did you say that guy's name?
James Rolfe, yes.
I did not know that.
Okay.
Will Ninja be there?
He'll be there flossing. He'll be flossing through the entire thing.
Hey man, he's probably getting paid, so
It's true. That man's got money.
All right, cool. Well, we'll take a break from you and we'll come back. Paul, why don't you talk to us about what you've been playing?
Oh, I was going to ask you about how was your Colorado trip or whatever.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for remembering. I went to Denver over the weekend. It was a long weekend down here.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so dry in Denver. I was dying.
I believe
my
that.
nose was horrible. That was a nightmare. But outside of like nasal issues and the sore throat that I currently have somehow. Yeah, man. Denver was great. A lot of fun. We went on some cool hikes, checked out a lot of cool, like huge rock formations and whatnot. We needed to rent a car because we were doing a couple day trips out of Denver, and the cheapest / best reviewed vehicle at the airport was this giant pickup truck. This giant 4-door pickup truck, like just absolute monster of a vehicle we had to end up renting. So that was part of the adventure. It worked out fine though. Yeah, we checked out like the Red Rock Amphitheater, which is this big outdoor concert venue surrounded by these like massive like rocks and stones and like kind of like in a national park. It seems like it'd be a really cool music venue. We didn't go see anyone there. When I looked it up, I think it was just like country people, and I'm like, no, thank you. Denver reminded me a lot of Calgary.
I've heard this actually from a lot of people.
Yeah, just kind of everything's kind of flat, and then like big downtown. Obviously it's a lot more spread out than I get in the Bay Area. You know, Calgary's obviously spread out because they have the space.
Mm-hmm.
It's dry as hell and messes with my nose. How else is it like Calgary? Oh, they're way into country and country music and like classic rock.
Yeah.
There was this, we just stumbled upon this like downtown music and rock festival, and everyone, like, there was people in cowboy hats. There was country bars, and I was like, man, this is so Calgary, and I kind of hate it.
Yeah.
These are all the things I don't like about Calgary.
Yeah, you and me both.
And then just the fact of like, it's right beside the Rockies. You can see the mountains kind of in the background at all times. That reminded me of Calgary. So it's very Calgary.
Yeah.
But you know, it was nice. We had lots of great food. We went to a place called, I think it was called Gourmet Hot Dogs or something like that.
Okay.
And had like an elk hot dog and like a Louisiana Fire hot dog and all these crazy hot dogs.
Cool.
We drove down to Colorado Springs, did more hikes around there. I actually went to a used video game store, an old local little tiny used video game store, and they had Japanese Famicom cartridges.
Oh,
nice.
I didn't pick any up because I was like, I have literally no way of playing these.
Yeah.
Also, when I walked in, I was starting to look around. I heard him talking to like a little kid. The kid was asking like, "Hey, you can trade in games because I've got like some racing games on the N64 I don't play anymore." And he's like, "Yeah, sure. We'll, we go on oh crap, what was the website?
Price charting.
Price charting. As soon as he said price charting, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna find any like nuggets here for like a sweet deal or anything. Like, this guy obviously knows."
Mm-hmm.
But I was surprised to find like a used video game store in a small town. So that was kind of fun.
Cool.
No, it was a great weekend, and I had a lot of fun. So until the next trip.
Yeah.
Which my next trip is in September.
Ooh,
where I'll be going to Germany.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah. Cool.
So how has your weekend been, Paul? Did you do anything?
Nothing special. I played a game or two.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. I finished up A Plague Tale: Innocence, and
right.
Boy, does that game stick the landing! Holy shit!
Oh, I'm excited. I want to play this game so much, but you keep using your Steam game library to play Terraria, and you never stop.
I know.
I come home, you're playing Terraria. I go to bed, you're still playing Terraria.
I know what day you're talking about because I left it on.
Oh, damn it!
I remember
coming dirty back like to that.
I remember coming back to my computer. I'm like, oh shit! I think I left this up all night. Oops.
And it's like, and for whatever reason, I can see what you're playing from the Xbox. So I'll be like, I'm playing Devil May Cry or something. I'm like, I wonder if Paul's off. Nope, still playing Terraria. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I remember. I think the last time I talked about this game, I said something about how I thought it would be more of like a weird, like almost horrific time period piece game of like France during like the beginning of the 100-Year
spoilers
War
with whatever you're
or
about
whatever,
to say.
And like the bubonic plague and all that. And it is very much a video game. It is not at all a realistic at all representation, or even just like an exaggerated representation. It is a fucked up, weird, dumb video game, and it's so good. That ending is so stupid. Holy shit.
Okay, all right.
It begs.
I still want to play it quite a bit.
You should, yeah, for sure. I guess like the complaint I had about it before sticks true all the way to the end. It has a lot of parts where I just feel it's kind of drawn out a little bit more than I would like it to be. A lot of like stealthing by people and just like trying to progress the story, but the story makes up for it. It's so stupid. I guess more importantly, I started Subnautica finally for the first time. And Subnautica is everything that terrifies me in a video game. It's underwater, like deep underwater, giant things in the distance that I can hear. It's not clowns. I'm not scared of clowns. It's just being underwater. That whole like suffocating feeling of like you're running out of oxygen, so you have to surface or get back in your base and go back out.
Have you ever gone scuba diving?
No, that sounds like an actual nightmare.
I've only done it in a pool, like a super deep pool.
Okay, that seems that seems fine in a pool. I'm not like I do not want to go out into the ocean and like go in the water. That's nonsense to me.
Well, I mean, in the pool you'll be in the water.
Yeah, but it's a pool.
But it's really deep. It's like a 40-foot deep pool.
Sure, but there's an ending to it. So I don't.
So is the ocean. What are you talking about?
There's no end to the ocean.
Doesn't end. What are you talking about?
It doesn't just. It's not just like a tube through the earth like that Total Recall reboot.
No, man. The deep. I don't want to go deep into that ocean.
Okay.
40 is nothing. 40 feet or whatever is nothing. Like that's deep, but that's human-made deep, and I'm okay with that. There's something about just like your body falling forever in the abyss or something. I don't like it. I fucking hate that shit. Anyways, that's what this game is.
Can you swim?
I can swim, yeah.
Okay. I was wondering if it's maybe because you don't know how to swim or something.
No, I do know how to swim. And that's what terrifies me, is that I know that I would be able to fight for my life until the inevitable defeat.
Gotta be careful with the bends. That's an issue.
I know. All these things, I'm very well aware that could happen. I don't want anything to do with it. Subnautica is beautiful, however, I will say. It's a very nice looking game. It gives me the crashing fear of my own mortality anytime I go below 100 feet in that game, and everything becomes really dark with like glow-in-the-dark things and like sounds in the distance and like shadows of stuff moving that are obviously very, very big and make me not want to go there. But knowing
like
I
that
have
scene
to
in
there.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes in Finding Nemo even that are just
like the lantern fish.
Yeah, no, I'm very well aware.
Down.
Yeah, I'm very well aware of the scene you're talking about. It's really cool though, and there's a story to it which I'm like slowly uncovering, which seems neat. And I'm told there's like actually an ending to it, so it's not just. I was under the impression it was a survival game, that like you just see how long you can survive for, and then you're done or whatever, and then you just live forever, sort of. And it's not that. Apparently there is an ending. There's like a path and progression you go through, and I'm excited to maybe see that out. The reason I'm playing this specifically is I wanted to see if I liked it enough to get that like Frozen Waters or whatever the hell it's called expansion that they released, because it's on sale on Epic right now for like half price on their giant sale. So I was gonna pick it up if I like Subnautica, and I'm gonna play a little bit more and then probably pick it up so I can try that out. I want to see how that game works on like ice. An ice world. I don't know what the hell that expansion adds, but I'm liking it so far. I think it's neat, but I have to play more of it. I'm only about 3 hours in. I've started building my little base, and it's cute. It has tubes and stuff, and a scanner room now, so I can go scan things. It's cool. Other than that, I've been playing just more Picross S3, trying to finish off those mega puzzles.
That's right, Picross.
Yep. It feels like I'm always playing Picross, so.
This because I had Emil call me out on this too when I was at his place. He's like, every time you're here, you're playing Picross.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, every 6 months they put out a Picross game, apparently.
Oh, it is way more frequent than every 6 months. It's like every 2.
No, it can't be that much.
Isn't there like which Picross? There's like 3 of the E ones, right?
There's 3 of the S ones, which is the Switch.
Sorry, I meant there's 6 of the E ones.
7. Oh no,
right,
there's 8.
You're proving my point for me.
8. How many Picross E's are there?
And there's only 2 of the 3D ones. Like, what's up with that?
Oh shit! Picross E9 came out in Japan, but it didn't come out over here. Oh no! What? Oh no! Now I'm not gonna get
How
closure.
many of these puzzles do you think they've recycled, but they're
Closure.
just so small you would have no idea?
I want closure on my Picross puzzles, Paul. Come on.
I'm kind of with you.
What was your question? How many have they just reused?
Yeah, what do you think the likelihood is that they've reused some, but like again, you only spend a few minutes on each one, you'd have no idea.
Probably. I'd say it's decently high. Like I think they've used a bunch from the DS Picross game.
Are you saying you can like recognize some?
Some look familiar. I'm not 100% certain, but I have played enough Picross at this point to be like, okay, that's probably going to be, that probably is this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm sure I've done like 1,000 flowers in Picross from like different angles. So yeah, the subject matter is usually the same.
That's true. I can't even think of 1,000 different angles for a flower.
Well, I've probably done them in Picross. I'll show you them later. My collection.
Good. Thank you. Please.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just wrapping up the Mega Picross because those always take me longer than all the other ones. I did all the quote unquote new ones, obviously in S3 already, the like color and clip ones, but I'm just working my way through finishing off the last like section of the Mega Picross, so I'll be caught up at that point.
Do either of you ever just like, is there like an existential dread that one day there won't be any more Picross? And then what are you gonna do with your life?
Kind of.
They don't play other games.
You're just gonna wake up in a sweat?
Like legitimately,
it's other games at that point.
It's become like a.
But then your glasses are gonna break, and you're like, no,
there's time
there
now.
was time now.
It's not fair.
It's actually become more of a meditation thing for me. So like, it's just part of my daily routine of being able to relax and just kind of zone out.
You're gonna finish that last Picross, and then you're just gonna be like, well, don't need these anymore, and just break your fingers.
Yeah. Pretty much.
They self-destruct, actually, is what happens.
Yeah, so please never stop putting out Picross games.
Yeah. Sudoku is also a good one from the chat. I do Sudoku every now and then because those are fun. But yeah, that's all.
Sudoku is like the normies version of a Picross.
Not quite.
It's very different.
For sure.
Extremely different.
I'm just saying, if I'm talking about Sudoku with somebody and someone else comes up and be like, well, I prefer Picross, I'm like, well, I know that you're a nerd and we can probably be friends.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
All right. I guess I'll go next. What did I play? I've been playing Hades. I said I was going to do it on the show last week, and I did it. So
nice.
Homework done. Hades rocks.
It's very
that
good.
game is so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't know what Hades is, this is the most recent game from Supergiant Games, the makers of absolute bangers, otherwise known as Bastion, Pyre, and Transistor.
Absolute bangers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite porn series.
All right. Just went for it, I guess.
Kudos.
Thank you. Hades is it's in early access. It's on the Epic Game Store. I know what you're thinking. Fuck that. But
oh yeah,
it's really good. I think it has the best art out of the other games. Probably because it has the most art so far. There is just so much in there.
Yeah.
What's another thing Supergiant's great for? Voice acting. Yeah. This has a ton of it, and it's great. Mm-hmm. There's so many different characters. They're all talking like it's really good. Everything is voice acted. It seems like. I keep finding like new items that are actually a different Greek god, and they have a full picture and a full like dialogue. I don't want to say tree, but like series of dialogue that, you know, the next time I find their item, they got something else to say, and they'll even talk about other characters I've encountered. Like, it is deep. It's not just this guy is always going to say, you know, one of these four things. It's, oh, you talked to like, I don't know, name a Greek god.
Hephaestus.
Sure. Yo, I hear you talk to Hephaestus. That guy sucks, but here's a new ability, something like that. You know, like they'll actually refer to each other and whatnot. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it just keeps adding more and more elements. Like, I guess I should just break down what the gameplay is first. It's like an isometric roguelike that plays like Bastion, I guess. It's like a hack and slash. I guess it plays like original God of War, kind of. And like it's procedurally generated, these rooms that you'll go into. And each room will usually have multiple exits, and they'll tell you like, hey, if you go through this next room and complete it, you're going to get this kind of currency or this kind of buff. So you can choose like, oh, do I want more coins so I can buy things? Do I want more purple gems so I can buy actual good things? Do I want more health? Do I want this kind of upgrade and stuff like that? So you can kind of choose what are you lacking, what are you going towards, which will inform kind of what run you're going towards. Like if you're trying to unlock something on the outside of the battles, it's like, well, I'm going to need a lot of purple gems, so I'm just going to keep going through the purple gem door so I can kind of farm that. But yeah, it keeps adding new items. So there's upgrades you can get that persist between each run. You can unlock new weapons because you have a primary weapon, which will give you like your regular attack on like with the Xbox controller it's X. It has like an area effect attack on Y, and then it has like a ranged one on B, and then A is like a dash. And right now I only have two weapons. I have the main one. You start with the sword, and then I unlocked the bow and arrow, and that one's really cool. But I haven't used it a ton because I'm trying to get really good with the sword first. And so there's tons of different weapons you can get. Again, there'll be tons of different like gods that you'll interact with as on each run, and they'll give you different perks, such as like your dash will now do damage, or when you take damage, it'll do a bit of damage back to whatever hurt you. Stuff like that. You can get these little like some kind of like a drink bottle, and then give it to any of the NPCs that are in the outside world, and they'll give you a trinket that you can then equip. Like there's so much going on there, and it's just really cool to see like that they're still putting more stuff in. So I'm having such a blast with Hades, and I only play like one or two runs at a time. They usually take me like 5 to 10 minutes. It's really easy to just pick up and play. You get a run done.
Mm-hmm.
I like Hades quite a bit.
Yeah, it's very good.
So if you like roguelikes, I highly recommend that. And if you like Supergiant, this is a no-brainer. I like Pyre a lot, and this might be my new favorite Supergiant game. I've also been playing Dauntless. I finally got into and really played some Dauntless.
Okay.
Again, this is a free-to-play Monster Hunter light kind of game. Something that's kind of cool is from what I've been hearing, this is like the first game that has launched with crossplay, as opposed to like getting it later. This is the first one that just out of the gate had Xbox, PC, and PlayStation working hand in hand perfectly.
Right.
That's surprising.
So that's kind of cool. Like more should do this. We're actually going to be talking about some a game announced that's going to be doing this. But it's cool that the PlayStation 1 works totally fine. In fact, I was curious how the trophies and achievements would kind of work, because you get one achievement kind of early on for like crafting like the first thing. You get an achievement. And I was like, well, if I log in to the PlayStation on that with that account, what is it going to do about that trophy? You just get it. It's just like, oh, you're already done. So here's the trophy. So that's kind of cool too. But yeah, you just pick up your progress from wherever you want, which is very cool. The matchmaking is pretty seamless. You invite your friend in, and then it like finds you a server when you go out on each hunt. I will say the hunts, I'm hoping they will get a little more interesting, because they're a bit one note. It's kind of just spawn into the forest or whatever, find the animal, which usually just means run forward for a while. You might need to climb some rocks, but there's usually a trail for you. So just run and follow the trail. And then as soon as you get to the monster, just mash X for the next 5 minutes straight.
Which monsters have you fought? Have you fought
what's
any of the ones with spikes?
Yeah, there was ones with spikes. What's the first one? Behemoths, I think.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Sure.
So there's like different. You fight like one of each element of Behemoth first. Then there's this like weird owl looking thing. Fought that one as well. That might have been it so far.
Okay.
I understand that based on like which parts you break off of it will change the kind of attacks it does. But I have yet to get to a point where I really need to like worry about other things going on. There was one boss that summoned like some kind of like bats at me at the same time, which was a little more interesting because I had a couple things to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
But that was only once. That was only like one additional thing. It would be kind of cool if there was a little bit more strategy involved.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that'll come with it, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's also I'm having a hard time getting my head around how like the progression in your equipment works. It's not a loot game. What it seems to be is like it wants you to buy, like there's a set number of weapons,
Mm-hmm.
and they all have the same stats except different elemental changes. But in terms of like how much damage they do, all the base ones will do like 100 and then like 80 elemental damage.
They all have different move sets though.
Yeah, they will have some unique abilities for sure. But the point though, because it's not a loot game, they want you to just kind of like find like, I guess, one of every kind of playstyle you might need or one of every element you might need, and then just keep upgrading those ones to be better and better to match the levels you're going to fight.
It's Monster
That's
Hunter.
the kind.
Yep.
Yeah, which is different, which is a lot different than what I'm used to. I'm used to kind of like, you know, like loot ones where it's constantly like, oh, I'm gonna buy the next sword because it's a better number, as opposed to like,
sure,
you know, you're gonna stick with the same sword you got at the beginning. You're just gonna keep upgrading it, but make sure you have. It's kind of like you need to have like a whole set, and then you're just gonna upgrade that set as you go. Which is,
yeah,
I can't think of a lot of other games that do that. So that was interesting to me. So I have to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, you'll get used to it.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's a good time. I like the way it looks. I'm just hoping the combat gets a little more interesting. Because we were doing one fight that I think the mission in total took us 18 minutes.
Yeah.
And like I said, 17 and a half of those were just go mash X. And then the other 30 seconds were run towards the enemy, and the enemy ran away, run towards it again. So that's kind of a bummer, because I would hope, and like they definitely could do more interesting stuff, because they always try to matchmake you, unless you pick private. They always matchmake you in a group of 4.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool if it was like, hey, if one of you is attacking, or, you know, let's say like 2 of you are attacking, what do the other 2 go, and if they do this like side little sub thing in the area, it'll give everyone a buff or something like that, or it'll trap the monster or something. You know what I mean? And maybe does Monster Hunter do anything like that, or is it also just kind of?
I mean, Monster Hunter actually has items to use, so if
this has items as well, and like I said,
like,
and
yeah, go ahead.
So you do have items. You can like throw grenades. You get tonics and potions to heal yourself or to buff you. You have your regular attack. You have a strong attack. You have your dash, and you have a special attack, which is just after you attack enough, the special meter gets filled up, and then you hit right bumper. But there's still no strategy involved. The whole strategy is just keep hitting this monster until you win. Like, then the harder you hit it, the better. The faster you hit it, the shorter this will go. Does Monster Hunter put anything else in it, or is it still just?
Yeah.
No, like, you just need to hit the monster for a while.
I mean, it depends what monster, but for the most part, it's like, oh, he's up in the air. Somebody needs to use a flash pod to like daze him so he falls down the ground. Let's cut off his tail so he can no longer poison us. Jumping on them and riding them, and then bring them down by dazing them. And like, yeah.
Okay, that seems like a bit more, because there's nothing about
traps.
Like jumping on them. There's no traps from what I've seen.
Yeah, the thing I can't get through with Dauntless is that it feels too basic. You're right. It is very much go up, dodge an attack, and then smack it, and then dodge another thing, and then smack, and it's too basic for me.
That is basically what it is. So
yeah.
But that might be good, and then maybe that's good for me because I'm not getting overwhelmed, because there's already like a lot of different things in Dauntless that I kind of had to like work my way through, in terms of like, because they have battle passes. I think it's called hunt passes, actually. They have like mastery cards, and like they give you there's a ton of systems going on that I still don't quite understand. Like, there's like a percentage meter in the top right, which after reading on Reddit is like that's how much powerful the monster's getting. Don't let it get to 100. The game never tells you that.
The like
so
danger
there's
meter or something.
I guess so.
Yeah, it has a name. I can't remember. Threat meter. I can't remember what it is, but yeah.
Yeah. So there's already like a lot of things sending my way, and maybe if there was more, it might have turned me off. So maybe this is actually good.
Yeah,
and I've just kind of gotten past like I'm finally my comfort zone is expanded that I'm ready for more, and maybe Dauntless just doesn't have more. I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing some just to see more of it. Because it's a good co-op game.
Yeah.
So. And then the last game I've been playing this week is FutureGrind on the Switch.
Okay.
This came out a while ago. And I guess it just didn't sell very well on the Switch, so it was 90% off. It was $2 last week.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I remember seeing a trailer for this and I thought it looked fine. So for $2, why not? I'm not 100% sure how to describe this. Maybe Trials might be kind of a good comparison to what FutureGrind is. It's the future. You're in, they call them bikes, but they're more like if you had a motorcycle that was always vertical, like on one wheel.
Yeah.
And the wheels will be different colors. And you're on these tracks, and you need to jump from track to track. You're constantly going from left to right. It's like a side scroller. You need to stay on the tracks so you don't fall. Your bike will tilt, so there's always kind of like a balance act to it, and you need to make sure that the corresponding wheel color is on the correct track color. And you can also do flips while you're in the air. You have a double jump. Hey, double jump! That's a great perk. It starts off real hard. It is really hard to get your head around because of all the things you're balancing. Because not only do you want to jump on the tracks, but if you hold A, you can attach underneath a track. Okay. Or you can get one wheel on a track and then kind of like slide along it, which reminds me of like old school Trials when you had like the weird stretchy bike, like the Flash game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on, and each track will be like the first one for when you get a new track is always just finish the course, get through it. The second one will be something like, hey, try and do 2 undergrinds by the end of it, and then you can move on. And then the third one will be like, do a 540. So you have to do like a bunch of flips and then make sure you land on the right color and stuff like that. I have like a solid bronze on every single stage because you can combo so much stuff together, and there's like clear tracks or white tracks that you can put any color on, but they stop your multiplier. So if you can avoid them, that's cool. So there's a real high skill ceiling to this game.
It's neat.
Once I got the hang of it, I'm enjoying it. It's kind of a cool little thing.
Yeah.
It definitely like stresses me out in like a kind of almost like a rhythm game aspect to it of like gotta just like hang on. I'm almost there. And the game, each stage is presented to you in just like a menu system and then into the tracks. So, kind of, rhythm game style, Guitar Hero, you just kind of pick, you go down like a list of stuff, and then, okay, I'm going to play this one. What's odd though is there's a story going on, and I thought the story was just going to be pretty like bare bones, similar to like think of like, Onrush, where it's just like, okay, hey, you're doing great. If you finish this track, like there's sponsors watching you and they're gonna give you like a new bike. And it's like, okay, so just pretty bare bones.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden one of the characters just says to you, and there's no like talking, it's just like a quick couple sentences underneath the name of like the level, and you say, okay, I'm gonna play this one. And then it's like, cool, you did it. Here's your new bike. And then hit the next one. Hey, if you do this one, we're gonna let you into the nighttime course. And then you do the next one. All of a sudden one of them is like, oh good, this made it to you. Act natural. And I'm going to talk to you more later. Oh, and slowly but surely, there's this weird like secret organization conspiracy thing going on under the seams, which seems so out of place because there's nothing to this. You're just doing bike stunts.
Yeah.
Like think of it if it was Trials, but then they randomly started just peppering in like, yo, we can't talk long. People are watching us.
This kind of sounds amazing.
It's weird. Yeah. Like it's super weird. So I'm just at the very beginning of it, and I don't really know where it's going to go with this story, but it comes out of left field. Like Like I'm talking like you're playing like just like Guitar Hero, and for some random reason, then there's a couple sentences there just like that popped in, like you watch out, man. They got eyes everywhere. Like it's so doesn't belong here, but so that was surprising, and that's kind of funny. But anyway, that's FutureGrind.
It looks cool, actually. It reminds me of Ollie Ollie a little bit. Just in the way it looks like it plays, you're grinding all the time.
Yeah, you're grinding all the time. Yeah, Ollie Ollie is definitely much more of like a skateboard sim. Like you have a bunch of different kind of tricks you can do and stuff.
This is like a two-sided fidget spinner almost, like that you're going between rails on.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, there's a high skill ceiling. Like there are tricks, there's different things you can do. It's kind of a weird game. I don't know if it's still on sale, but on Switch it was $2 for me last week.
Man, I'm gonna check.
Wait, last week, maybe this week on Monday. So it's probably still on sale. So if FutureGrind sounds interesting to you, maybe check it out because it seems kind of dead in the water if it's 90% off.
Yeah, $2. It only came out in January. I just looked up too. So
I think you're talking the Switch version, or right?
Well, this was on Steam that I looked up.
On Steam, it only came out in January.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Because I had heard about this like a while ago, so I thought it had been on PC for a while. So obviously, it's not doing very well.
That's too bad. It looks neat. So
it is neat, and I think it's definitely worth $2. So anyway, that's all I've been playing. John, what have you been playing?
Across, which we already talked about. Well, for the past month, I really haven't done much. I played through Katana Zero for the Patreon podcast, and I was enjoying that game anyways. But otherwise, like my free gaming time has been very limited because of the move. But while I was at MomoCon, I did have time to play a bunch of multiplayer games with a bunch of friends. So they had a giant arcade there, so we got to play like a Bishi Bashi, the channel game, which was real fun. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bishi Bashi, but it's basically a multiplayer game where you mash these giant buttons and compete in all these weird mini games.
Okay, I have seen.
All
those,
right, yeah. You got 3 different color buttons. You press the correct color to like knock out a piece of like a tower, and then you just keep going. Whoever gets the top first wins. But it's also like cooperative, so you all have to kind of get through it.
Sorry, what's it called again?
Bishi Bashi, Bishi, or it's Bishi Bashi, so it'd be Bashi. Okay, but this one was like I believe Bishi Bashi the channel, which I believe is the newest one.
This looks like some like Rhythm Heaven graphics.
Kinda, yeah. It's very goofy. It's really fun though. I highly recommend it if you ever get a chance to play any Bishi Bashi game.
Oh wait, did you play this on a console, like a game console, or an arcade?
Actual arcade. At MomoCon, they have an actual arcade. So
right, yes, I'm seeing the arcade cabinet here. Okay, all right.
So yeah, played that a bunch. We also played this arcade game called Scotto, which a bunch of our friends have been really obsessed with now. It is literally just beer pong as a video game.
All right. Sure.
So you've got a table, you have a giant pile of like ping pong balls, and you have to bounce them off the table into like a funnel that's halfway in the board.
Okay.
So there's 3 different versions. We only played 2 of them. One was literally like get the most balls into the funnel in like 30-second chunks, and then you could compete against someone else. And then there was level up mode or trick shot mode, where there's like these 6 panels around the actual funnel, and you have to bank shot off of them into the funnel.
Is there an actual like beer pong mode though? Like, like
no taking
cups.
It's just all like straight up like reflect shots kind of.
But like they never have like, like 10 cups light in a triangle.
No.
Okay. All right. Because they could get like pretty interesting with like all the like weird house rules that you'll come across with like beer pong.
I think there actually is a beer pong arcade machine, like as in like you're throwing ping pong balls into a bunch of plastic cups.
Probably, yeah.
But I think it's like a ticket game.
Sure, probably, yeah, probably.
And this is more of like a game of chance,
like a serious game for gamers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pro gamers only. Pro ping pongers only. I also took part in a Mega Man X race.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did an 80% run, and I played bad, which sucks. I won it last year, and this year I got 3rd. So
who won
it's
it?
Okay, man.
We went back to our rooms and we played a bunch of different games. played this card game called Unlock, I think is what it was called. It's basically an escape room as a card game.
Oh.
Okay, it's like a physical card game.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So like you open up the first card and then like they'll have numbers on the card. You flip them open, you flip them up, and it's like, okay, here's a room, here's a bunch of puzzles you need to solve. And there's an app you download on your phone where you can type in like the key codes to like unlock new pieces. You can get hints and stuff like that. It was actually really cool. But
Does it require an internet connection?
I mean, download the app and you're fine.
Okay, so after downloading it, then you can play it offline?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
It was really neat. The only problem is it's one of those card games where you play it once and then you kind of know the solution.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So it's like an actual escape room. But
guess,
it's way cheaper than an escape room because it's $15.
Sure. You really can't play it more than once?
I mean, you can, but then you kind of know the answer, right?
I guess so. That is a bummer.
It's just like an actual escape room, and that once you know the solutions, why would you play it again?
Right. I guess, but there's just something about like, I bought a game that can only play it once. And I actually, now I think about it, I have heard of other games that are like a one-time kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I mean that's the price of like a movie ticket, you know? So I guess it's not like crazy.
Yeah, like, and you can have up to 6 people play with you, so.
Sure.
Then we also played a bunch of Switch games, all multiplayer games. We played some Windjammers.
Okay.
Which is always fun.
Yep.
Played some Duck Game.
Classic.
Yep.
Played some Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Yeah, that game's awesome.
Played some Crawl. And we played some Heavy Burger.
Okay.
Nice.
Played all the classics.
Nice.
That was pretty much it, though. No?
Okay.
We didn't want to fuss around with the internet connection. Just figured it was way easier to just go at it. Just play some local multiplayer stuff.
Right. Okay. I don't think I've seen Crawl before. This is new to me.
That's weird. It seems like a game that's kind of right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It looks like people like murdering each other in a pit. So I don't know what that says about me.
That's pretty much Crawl. Yeah. No, the idea is that it starts with the 4 of you alive, and then you all go insane and fight each other, and then the survivor has to try to escape the dungeon they're trapped in. But all the other players are ghosts and are haunting the player.
This is literally Trivia Murder Party from Jackbox, whatever.
Not quite. There's no trivia. There is murder, and you're in a party, so I guess that's 2 of the 3.
But when people die, they're ghosts.
That's true.
So
Yes,
there's a lot of similarities here, is what I'm saying.
Just like real life.
Yeah.
Each character is associated with like a deity, so you can summon demons to kill the alive player, and if you succeed in killing the player, you gain your humanity back and you come back to life.
Okay.
And the idea is you have to kill enough monsters to get to level 10 and then kill the boss of the dungeon to actually escape.
Okay.
But there's only 3 attempts you can make at the boss. If the 3rd attempt fails, the ghosts win, and the save file for the person who was the human and got killed by the boss is deleted.
Classic.
Because their soul is consumed by the demon they're trying to fight.
Nice. That's good.
It's actually a really cool multiplayer game. It's a little long in the tooth, but it's fun. And otherwise, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
All right, let's do some news. The news keeps coming, even though it's not even E3 yet.
Yep.
Well, it might as well be now.
Yeah.
No, don't say that. That means a lot of different things for where I work. So
that's true.
Smash Bros got an update today, I believe, that added VR support.
Yes, that was today.
With the Google Cardboard VR thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Labo VR, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it's just like a camera mode. You just get to look at the match closer.
Sure.
I don't know why you would want this. Also,
someone wanted it. They wouldn't have made it otherwise.
I guess. Can you play it while it's on here, or do you have to like hold it up to your face and use the Joy-Cons on either side of your face so it doesn't fall. Because there's no strap on that thing.
I don't know. I actually have not read into this at all, to be perfectly honest.
There is a mode where you can just watch the computers, obviously, and just look around and enjoy the view, which that just sounds like, yeah, enjoy a front row seat to CPU bouts. Then this other GIF I'm looking at says compatible with limited, timed and like offline battles. So I'd assume you're playing as well. This seems like a nightmare. Single player experience only. Anyway, I don't know why you would do this, but you can do this now.
Weird.
Baldur's Gate 3 is being teased.
Dude, oh my god.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
I'm so excited. But yeah, there's like no information on it.
Larian Studios, the makers of Divinity Original Sin 2, which is a game I keep being shamed that I should be playing because it's amazing, I hear.
It's very, very good.
Are teasing a Baldur's Gate 3. There's literally just kind of like a picture up on their website with a big old 3, Roman numeral 3. But I'm glad, Paul, I'm glad you're excited.
I'm excited. There's rumors that it's officially supported by Wizards of the Coast D&D group too. But
yes,
we'll
I'm seeing that in this article.
We'll have to see.
We got a bit of info on Anthem's Cataclysm.
Oh, here's the sarcastic jerk-off motion time. Have you seen this?
Nope.
I looked through this article.
Okay.
I think it's also worth noting EA put out their what games are we going to show during our like press conference, or like during, and Anthem wasn't on it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
which is not great to see here.
Yeah.
Anyway, kind of the TLDR with the Cataclysm. For those who don't know, the Cataclysm is supposed to be their kind of raid, their kind of endgame raid style thing. Doesn't sound like a raid we're all used to.
Nope.
From what I was reading, and there's a video they let a live stream kind of showing it off. And apparently, I didn't watch the whole live stream, I just kind of watched short little videos. It apparently looked real rough with tons of placeholder stuff in there. But it's a new area that you can go into for a set amount of time. And it's score based. You're just trying to like get a high score, and based on your score, you'll get some loot. Which doesn't sound super interesting. They said there's going to be like live events. This thing will be open to everyone for 8 weeks.
Yep. This is a time
during that time, there'll be different events going on inside this area that you can take part in. I'm not sure what that might mean, because Anthem's Overworld already has kind of like random public events. They're kind of like bad versions of the Destiny 2's public events. So who really knows? This is weird. This is definitely not like what we're used to for a raid. So I guess it's good they're not calling it a raid, and they were staying away from calling it a raid. So I guess we can't really fault them for it not being a raid.
Sure.
We all just kind of assumed it would be like a raid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to. I wish this game was better.
I guess like
many people do.
I guess the one thing that's good is they're getting rid of the luck stat, so you'll just get drops now and not have to worry about a stat to get better ones. So that's
I didn't know that was a thing, but okay.
I guess that should have just been the whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm done with Anthem.
I don't know if I mentioned on this. I tried playing the 2 strongholds that you get at the end game.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks back, so I was like, I should just do those to see what they're like.
Yeah.
And they added that other stronghold as well that I heard was okay, and I was like, I should see these. I couldn't find a game. It would not matchmake me into a game with it, not even one other player. So I have yet to do those.
Bummer.
Apex, the Battle Pass 2, they put out some info for it today, and it sounds way better than the first Battle Pass. So I'm excited again. I'm ready to be hurt again.
Okay,
Uh,
that's good.
But some of the like specific things is they actually have some cool looking skins. Finally, they're not just like a different color or like camo face paint. They also have some cool looking weapon skins. Like this one looks like a skull is eating this gun or whatever of like a dragon.
Yeah, that's neat looking. I like it.
Yeah, they actually have some cool looking stuff. Some of the changes are the bonuses you're going to be getting from each level are a lot better. They're taking out just like random trackers or voice quips and giving you like legendary items or things to craft legendary items with. They also said they are significantly making it faster to level up, which was like my biggest complaint is it took way too long to even level up once there. And as early as next week, they will be having like a new limited time event, which might be kind of cool to take part in. They're also going to have challenges and stuff for people to do while they're playing. So
Cool.
sounds way better. Sounds like it might be a good reason to come back to Apex finally.
Cool.
Because I'm barely playing that game these days, but I want to. I want there to be more there.
Sure.
And then obviously they said, that we'll be talking way more about it coming at during E3.
Yeah.
And then this morning, the new Call of Duty was officially announced.
Yeah.
Who's excited?
I mean, I like those games. I'll look into it at some point.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Something tells me I've already played this one before.
This game is coming October 25th.
Mm-hmm.
With crossplay supports. This is what I was talking about earlier. So that's interesting. It's going to have crossplay between all three.
Yeah.
Which is great. Good for them.
Yeah.
Some small bits of info. It'll be feature a new engine. On PC, it'll be through Battle.net. And there will be no season pass.
Okay. That's actually a pretty big step for them.
Yeah, I'm assuming for like or the season passes primarily stages, multiplayer stages.
We're gonna go back to charging you piecemeal for everything we do. You know what? I'm for
Hooray.
I doubt it. I doubt it because like I feel like the standard these days is just all additional content like free at this point.
Yeah.
And the only thing you're paying for is like cosmetic stuff.
Yeah. The industry is backstepping huge on a lot of that shit for sure.
Anyway, yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which technically the other one was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, so it is different.
It is. You're right.
Yep, if you want to get technical with it. But at the same time, like, who cares, man? Games do this all the time.
Yeah.
When this was first, like, hinted or leaked earlier in the week and people were flipping out, it was like, come on, who cares?
Yeah. What was that new Doom called? Oh, right, Doom.
Yeah, exactly. Like, God of War, Tomb Raider,
Doom.
Every series does this. Like, calm down.
They should have named it The Doom, to be fair, because that would have been funnier.
The Doom. The Doomening. Doomy Doom.
Yeah.
We got the June games with gold, and I think they kind of suck.
Okay.
But I say that every month, unless it's Game Pass.
These aren't bad. They're okay. They're not great.
NHL 19, which okay,
that's the best way to play that.
There are people that are in to the sports games. For me personally, I think this is a wet fart.
NHL games are great.
Okay,
but I would never want to pay. This is like this being for free. Perfect. That's a perfect.
Okay.
Price.
Rivals of Aether. To be fair, I actually don't really know what that is. So maybe that's amazing.
It's indie Smash Bros. Basically.
Okay. All right. The first Portal.
That's an odd.
That is
one.
hella old.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! The first.
Someone's
Portal.
probably not played it.
That's true.
I guess so.
But like, you could. This thing isn't this game free? Like, if you own Steam.
I don't know, honestly.
Like, I feel like everyone owns Portal at this point.
I'm not up to date on my Portal lore, unfortunately.
And then Earth Defense Force 2017.
Never played that one.
Now's your chance. Break out the 360.
I have my 360 out actually. I could do this.
I don't know. I think this is another great example of Microsoft knows you're going to buy gold no matter what because you want to play online. So they're going to put all the good games into Game Pass so that you have to subscribe to both.
No, totally. That's totally what they're doing.
Speaking of Game Pass was announced for PC this morning.
Right.
Which that's awesome. Paul, are you stoked?
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing the stuff they've been releasing, but yeah, this is better, obviously. So
yeah, because for right now, Game Pass on the PC was just
the new stuff, essentially.
The Microsoft exclusives, right? The first party titles.
Yeah.
It wasn't all the indie stuff that was coming. It was none of that. That was just Xbox.
Right.
But now with the number they're talking, 100 plus high quality PC games. Got Devolver Digital on there, Deep Silver, Paradox, Sega, Bethesda. I believe Game Pass only has around a little bit over 100, so that's probably a good chunk of the games that we've seen here. This seems like a slam dunk for PC players.
It is.
Like, holy smokes, you're about to just get so much stuff.
Another slam to Steam too.
Yep, for sure. You have to start wondering if like Steam is going to have like a subscription service, kind of like how Humble has theirs. Like, Microsoft's about to make a huge step forward in the PC gaming space, as far as I'm concerned. I'm curious if it's going to be a separate subscription.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
At the moment, it's not, right, Paul? If
It's
you
not,
have Game
yeah.
Pass, it's not. So I would assume it wouldn't.
Because I've been able to claim the Xbox One games they've been giving out online to my account. So if I ever get an Xbox One, I'll have them.
Right, and then you can play the PC version of them. Yeah.
Right.
I'm hoping they're not going to like increase the price. Now it's 15 instead of $10 or something. It'd be very cool if I just have the PC games now as well. And it would be extremely cool if it's just there's no difference in the library. That would be insane. If it's if when they say it's coming to Game Pass, they mean both. I have to assume that's where they're headed towards. That has to be like the end goal. Maybe at the beginning they might not have everyone because of licensing stuff. But I have to assume the end goal is when they say it's coming to Game Pass, that's both PC and Xbox. And then that's crazy. Like that's awesome. If I was Paul, I'd be stoked.
Why? A lot of these I've been playing because they've been coming out on PC.
But now you're just getting them. You don't have to buy them anymore. It's just for $10.
Yeah.
Day and date with a lot of them. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough people are praising Game Pass. And then we'll talk about PlayStation Plus, because why not? And this link broke. So we're not going to talk about PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Oh, right. It's Sonic Mania and the Borderlands Handsome Collection.
Yeah.
So that's okay. It's okay. Did you guys see the rumor going around that there might be Borderlands 2 DLC coming that links to Borderlands 3, like a bridge?
Why?
Oh, really? No, I didn't.
How weird is it's weird just because Borderlands 2 is so old, right?
Yeah.
I guess they did just release those like 4K packs for Borderlands like 1 and 2 recently. So there is kind of an uptick again in people playing, but just hearing Borderlands 2 DLC coming in 2019 is so weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Nothing's been confirmed. I was just hearing that rumor, but I was even reading like a name of what the DLC would be called. Which is? So I don't remember.
Oh.
But again, it could have been fake. I'm waiting for like an official thing.
Sure.
In terms of old games kind of resurfacing, Square Enix's Avengers project just popped up randomly. Basically saying, hey, we're going to be at E3, tune into the Square Enix live stream.
Yeah.
I haven't really been collecting news and stories about like this game's going to be there, this game's going to be there. This one I thought I would point out because this game has been silent for years, and it's still happening. Isn't this what Crystal Dynamics is doing?
Yep.
And that's why they didn't do Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
Yep.
So hopefully it's good. Crystal Dynamics is a good game studio.
They are.
All right, let's get on the bummer news train for a bit. Mario Maker 2. Everyone is stoked. All of
Yeah.
us on the podcast are stoked.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know, John, if you're stoked. Did you see that Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited for it.
Okay, so we're all stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Online, you can't play with your friends.
So here's the thing. If they hadn't shown online, I wouldn't care because I wasn't expecting to. It's because they showed fun online stuff that this is a bummer.
This is insane. This
Oh.
is absolutely insane.
Why did they? Oh my god, they teased us. It was a
And
tease.
it's the reasoning is so
I don't know why
crazy.
you guys expected Nintendo to not pull a Nintendo. Like, you really should have known.
They're literally shooting themselves in the foot.
I wouldn't be surprised if they patched this
Oh yeah, for sure.
or made it DLC. There's too much reaction to it. There's no way they won't.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know about at launch though, because it might be too soon.
Yeah,
That
no,
game
It
comes out
won't be at launch.
in
It
less
will
than a
not be at
month.
launch.
I'm sure they'll patch it.
Let me just go down the specifics before they do hopefully patch it. For both cooperative and co-op, you cannot play with friends because they don't want you to mess up the leaderboards, even though there's no leaderboards for co-op. You can, however, play with randoms.
Right.
And then it'll go on the leaderboard. So I guess it's like they don't want you to like play a stage and like conspiracy figure it out with your friend, like, but if you send me hurdling, we'll shave off some time or something. I think if you and your friend can get together and like just dominate a level, that's also really cool. But Nintendo thinks otherwise. So that is absolutely crazy.
I mean, I don't like the leaderboard system in general. I just don't think that's what makes Mario Maker good anyway. So,
or
but
just
whatever.
like make like a separate leaderboard, or just don't allow the score to go on the leaderboard. Like, who cares?
They just shouldn't allow the score. Like, that's
Yeah.
literally just a menu option.
Yep. Very true.
Yeah, this is. I don't. What was the reason? Man, I don't even. This is
It's so
flabbergasting.
funny. It's funny.
It's so weird. It's such a bad idea.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe they'll charge us like $5 or something. Maybe that's like the plan, like the dark, cynical plan.
I would gladly pay it.
Like I want to play online with my friends. I want to play
Yeah.
co-op. For some of these, I want to try it out. Why not? It's probably not what I was going to do the majority of my time with Mario Maker 2. It's probably going to be, single player, downloading random stages and playing it by myself. But
Scores are gonna get hacked day one anyway. This is a thing, right?
Yeah, probably.
So, oh well,
Yeah.
whatever. The reaction has been glorious. It's been so good. People have been losing their mind.
rightfully so. This is insane.
It's not that insane.
Again, I don't know why you thought Nintendo was not going to pull a Nintendo.
Honestly, the thing that's insane is that they teased that you could play with people, and then like kind of left that out until later. Because
But
people,
not your friends.
they knew that people would assume you could play with your friends. Because why not? I love it.
Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes is coming to PS4 and Steam.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. All right, that Sonic movie got delayed.
Yeah, it did.
Good. It's no longer on my birthday.
No,
Was
it's
it your
on
birthday?
Valentine's
It was
Day
coming.
now.
It's coming out on. It was originally coming out on November 8th. Birthday.
Oh, so you were planning to see that for your birthday, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, now you can go for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Of
Much
2020. I guess this is good news because we were talking about how this is probably murdering some visual effects artists to have to change Sonic entirely.
Mhm.
And I'm glad they were like, okay, we're going to take more time with it, as opposed to being like, no, we got this slot. We're doing it. The hype has been built.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
that's
gonna
cool.
add a thing in here before you get to the last thing. Death Stranding's official release and trailer came out.
Right. Can't believe I forgot about that. Let's talk about that. The 8-minute long trailer.
Mm-hmm.
What are some takeaways John, have you seen this?
Yep.
Okay, what are some takeaways you guys got from this trailer? Let's list everything we know about Death Stranding now.
Kojima's still being Kojima, and I'm so excited.
There's a
it's
guy
former
named
Metal
Die
Gear.
Hardman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm excited to see completely unrestrained Kojima. I think that's the thing I'm the most excited for.
Yeah, that's true. I actually thought it I was getting some like Breath of the Wild vibes from it.
Yeah.
In terms,
I
like
think I agree with that.
when the dude took out the big ladder,
Yeah.
and when he started like putting like the spikes down and going down the cliffs, kind of the being able to like go over theoretically any terrain, I was getting some Breath of the Wild vibes. And I'm wondering if we're starting to get to the point where people are like, "Hey, did you guys play Breath of the Wild?" Because everyone at our studio did, and we wanted to like pull from that. Like I'm sure those games are coming, right?
That ladder's so good. Great
Amazing ladder.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. He talks about being in Hades at one point.
Yep.
What's the other actor? The guy that seemed like he was in Hades, and he like comes out of the water and he lights his cigarette on the air.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen. I think he's in hell. It seems like, and then all of his like shadow soldiers are on fire behind him, but they're ready for action. What else was going on? He can sense the ghost things,
but he needs the baby.
Yeah.
He needs the baby, and it makes him feel bad.
Yeah.
He doesn't like
plug
doing
into
it.
the baby.
Yeah, he has to plug into the baby. The baby looked messed up at one point. Like it started off fine and it gave you a thumbs up, and then another time it looked fucked
like
up.
A doll or something. A fucked up doll.
Yep.
No, that was a specific character's version of the doll, of the baby rather. That's what the doll was. And that's why they did that flash of like the baby looking like the doll instead.
Oh, that's right. I remember that now. What else? There was a bunch of guys throwing lightning spears at him. And I was like, does this world not have guns? But then there's another time where you have a gun. So I don't know why they were just running through a field, like tripping over each other, trying to hit him with a lightning spear.
They were trying to be stylish.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Looks gorgeous. I'll say that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out this year, I think that's the biggest surprise.
That's a surprise, yeah.
My birthday, November 8th.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's
nice.
It's I swapped Sonic the movie for Death
now
Stranding.
you have some free time to play it now.
Or as it says, if you read the letters that are hit with the strings or the strands, it says "Eat Standing."
Oh, right, I did see you tweet that.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Eat Standing. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna play it. I was not expecting it to come out this lifetime.
Yeah. I was expecting it for the next generation at this point.
I was expecting it to be a launch title for the PS5, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this year, that's weird. Cool. And then this last one, which had a bunch of controversy going on the internet when it was mentioned. The World Health Organization officially recognizes gaming addiction as a disease.
Yeah.
You guys have some thoughts on this?
I mean, that makes sense. They do for gambling as well.
Yep.
So,
I guess kind of the big takeaway I was seeing is like, it's not based on numbers like hours played. It's based on like how it's affecting your life.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really have any points to make. If you guys don't have any points to make, we'll move on. But if it sounds interesting to people, you should maybe look into it.
It just makes sense.
I think for some people it makes sense, but for most it doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably definitely a real thing.
Sure, you can get addicted to almost anything. Maybe literally everything. So, sure. I really like that the classification is called gaming disorder. I think that's funny sounding, but like more than anything, this is probably good for like maybe parents can like look into this and be like, oh, maybe my kid has this or something.
Right. Although the other side of that is like maybe parents are gonna like too quickly jump to that and be like, oh no, my kid had. I knew. Like the kid, the parents gonna be like on like the evening news, and they're gonna hear gaming disorder, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this sounds like my son. He's always playing Fortnite."
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it's gonna be.
But you know what?
I mean,
Maybe he
hopefully
shouldn't be
not.
playing Fortnite that much, and maybe the parents should get off their ass and
But
do some
it's
parenting
not
at
about
that point.
it's not about how long you're playing the game.
You can't blame parents for bad parenting. That's not how it works.
Right, I forgot.
Also, Fortnite gets a pass. It's like the best game.
If the kid is playing Fortnite enough that it becomes that much of an issue, it might be a problem. If anybody, I don't know why I'm saying kid. If anybody's playing Fortnite that much that it becomes an issue.
This one post says the people who have labeled this as gamer disorder need to go hang out with Snoop Dogg. Anyway, that's you go. Gaming disorder is a thing. Get help if you need it, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some questions. If you have questions, send them in to topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box.
I have the episode titles,
Do you want to do those first?
or do you want to do them after? I'm good with either.
But if you have them up, let's do them.
Okay. So starting from March 21st, Ash has a Mr. Mime for a dad. This is obviously about... we were probably talking about Detective
This is obviously
Pikachu
about
trailer.
everything involving Pokemon, because it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I brought this up. Like, do you guys... I feel like I was like, have you heard of this?
That sounds like something you would bring up.
Yeah, this is a Sean thing for sure.
I mean, I didn't come up with it. This is... I read about this.
No, I believe that you made up.
I read about this in the paper.
Okay. Context was we were asked about what Pokemon we would travel with. I said I would like a psychic type, couldn't decide. Mr. Mime came up. It was considered a good choice, listing what this is one of the reasons why. I'm assuming it was from Sean, because that's a Sean thing for sure.
Okay.
March 29th, most of my nightmares star Randy Pitchford.
Yeah.
This is a Sean. Wait, was this after the thing, the presentation?
I don't know. I feel like every 2 weeks he did something else. So I don't know which one this is nearby. I don't remember saying this.
Okay.
I don't think it's me.
Okay, let's see. Sean
think
described
it's Paul.
Sean described the Borderlands 3 announcement as a nightmare starring Randy Pitchford, and I said that to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next month, April 5th, we can't say Danny DeVito for all of them.
We were talking about voicing something, Pokemon or Smash Brothers.
Probably. Oh,
it might have been Smash Brothers.
I think it might have been Smash.
I think we were talking about who would play Smash Brothers in live action adaptations.
Yep.
Maybe. And I think at the very beginning I may have said that as like a prerequisite.
Yeah. Okay. A question came up about casting actors in a movie, Smash Ultimate. This was a ground rule that had to be set after casting Kirby.
All right, it was Kirby.
A ground rule. It looks like we missed a week on the 11th, so the next one was the 18th of April. Left to Die.
That's what I think that Left 4 Dead spiritual successor is, and I still forget the name.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot!
It's not Left to Die. That's what I kept thinking it was.
That's what the name they made up was, but yeah.
Okay, context. Sean trying to remember the name of the spiritual successor of Left 4 Dead. It's actually Back 4 Blood. And when Paul pointed that out, he said he likes Sean's better. And I still do.
Oh.
Left 2 Die is much better. April 26th, John's God Pizza.
What?
John's God Pizza.
April 26th. I was still here.
I don't know what this is.
God Pizza.
Is it like Godfather? Like, but a God Pizza? I don't know what this is.
Was I talking about just like how I couldn't have pizza anymore?
Can you not have pizza anymore?
I became lactose intolerant,
Oh, that's
so
right.
like,
Yeah.
I have to take shit now if I want to have pizza.
Okay. Were we talking about like if we had to come up with our best pizza or something, our favorite? I don't know what this is.
It must be. Okay.
I think we're talking about like pizza toppings and just like what I do. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too. Context. John told a story about he got a pizza that was cut with a few centimeters of room between the slice. Sean and Paul considered this a rarity. Oh, okay. When they cut the pizza.
Oh, right, we're talking about how there wasn't any clean cuts.
And Sean
on
called
pizza.
it
Like,
John's God pizza, where they actually cut all the way through.
Now there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember. And then I think that was the last one you were on. Cause
Was this when we were talking about like if you're going to get a slice of pizza, like where do you pull from?
Yeah, like I was like, you don't need to touch the other slices if they're cut properly, and that you were like, no, there's no such thing as a properly cut pizza.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Hence
I do remember
pizza.
saying that now. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so John is not part of these next ones here. May 2nd, he would have been a good Big the Cat.
I'm assuming we were
John
casting
Goodman.
Sonic.
I think I said something about John Goodman being Big
I
the
think
Cat.
that sounds right. Yeah.
But you're right. I think it was casting a Sonic movie or the Sonic movie, because this probably was around.
If the other characters were gonna come in, who would they be and stuff? Or if they were live action, maybe, I don't remember.
Yeah, something like this. Question came in about casting the other Sonic/Sega movie universe. Paul said this about Canadian National Treasure John Candy. I think you said that about John Candy. Actually,
no, I don't.
You don't think
Did
so?
I don't remember, man.
John Candy would have been good.
I think John Candy's a better Big the Cat than John Goodman.
But he's dead. Rip.
Unfortunately, yeah. Rest in peace.
Yep. May 9th, they need to go through their own rite of passage. This sounds like a Sean thing.
I don't know.
Talking about kids of some sort.
So, yeah, something like
playing the fork knife.
It seems familiar, but I don't remember what it was about.
Yeah, I don't know at all. This was only like 2 weeks ago, by the way.
Great.
A question about porn games came in. Sean said he wouldn't be willing to show a kid a porn, stating this is the reason aside from the obvious.
Oh, right, because I was like, they need to be able to find it themselves, and that was the rite of passage. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And last week, the John Wheeler drought of 2019.
Wow.
Oh, because I said the drought like continues or something like that.
At the start, probably, yeah.
Yeah, when we were saying John's not here.
And context, what this arc of the podcast is known as, because John is missing from it.
Right, yes.
The arc?
I remember saying the arc, yeah. All right. Thanks again for the episode titles.
Yeah.
I will read this first question from Sarcasm. The new Call of Duty is being called Modern Warfare, yet presumably it isn't a remake of the original Modern Warfare. As such, what will people refer to the two games as when discussing them? I'm hoping the new one will be nicknamed Post-Modern Warfare.
That's really good, actually.
That is really good. They'll just call it Modern Warfare or MW, probably.
I don't think anyone's going to say MW. Like out
when
loud.
You're typing it, no.
Typing it, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, for the record, the other one was called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. So I could see that. I could see the original one like changing its name to Call of Duty 4 if you're differentiating it. I can also just see people putting the year after the name Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Like Modern Warfare 2019, obviously, and then 2008. Is that when Modern Warfare came out?
I want to say 7.
7 sounds right as well.
It was early. Call of Duty 2 onwards, I think, was on 360. So,
yeah, so, and that
This would have been 05, 06, and if we're going yearly, then yeah.
Been a while.
And then, John, why don't you take this one from VGC Kenny?
Buying physical copies seems to have lost some of its luster. I like having physical copies of stuff, but it seems that the whole world is pushing for a digital-only future, and the feeling of buying physical is just not there anymore. The arguments of space and availability are obfuscated somewhat by physical games having DLC and always having the product if you bought it. My question is it still worth it to buy physical? And if so, when will it stop being worth it? There's a second part to this as well, but we'll deal with this first. That's a tough one, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in pretty much the boat of it's not worth buying physical anymore. The only time I do is if that one is like significantly cheaper.
Honestly, the thing that worries me more than anything is if Valve for some reason were like, we can't compete with Microsoft anymore, we're closing down, and Steam shuts down, like, am I out like 1,500 games that I paid money for? Maybe, because they're not real, they're just on a cloud somewhere.
Yeah, that's kind of why I
That
go
part
with
scares
physical
me.
all the time.
Yeah.
Because then you own something tangible.
And then on that side, if you physically lose the disc gets scratched, you break the cartridge or whatever, you lose access to it still. Whereas like digital, it would be in the cloud forever in theory, as long as the company exists. I don't know. I think if you live in a rural place where it's very hard for you to get good internet, it's always still worth it to do physical, probably, because downloads are a bitch.
But keep in mind, they're still going to probably have to download patches.
Which is still such a bummer for them, yeah.
Which is part of the thing, is like, it's almost like you may have the physical disc, but you still got to be connected to that internet to, like, a lot of these games have to be online at all times.
Yeah.
I really like not having to change the disc. Like, I really like that. I know it's like a small thing. But sometimes I just like don't want to get off the couch to like play something else, and because a lot of my games are digital, like I'm talking like on my Xbox or whatever, it is so nice to just hit the guy button, go over to the next game, hit that one.
Yeah. This is gonna change again too when this cloud gaming that Google are doing and like other companies will probably follow suit when it's more viable. Where like, don't you wish you could just download your games? Like in 10 years, maybe we're saying, man, remember when you could just download and have a copy of the game on your drive? That was so cool. But now you're stuck doing this cloud thing. It's weird. But I like.
Although I feel like
physical.
if we only have the one option, streaming, it would have to be at a place where it is good enough to completely replace download.
Worldwide. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm sure it'll be hand in hand for a long time, and then you maybe like 10, 20 years from now, it's like we don't have to worry about downloading anymore. It is there's no difference. The streaming is so good.
Yeah. I like having physical for like the Switch specifically, mainly because I don't like downloading on that thing and like using up space or buying like new memory cards or whatever. I like just being able to pop in a game when it's like a Nintendo game. I like having the indies downloaded on there because they're small. But like, I had Monster Hunter, I can't remember which one. I guess the Japanese version that was Generations installed on there, and it took up like most of the disk drive I had. So,
do you not have like a card in there, like an SD card?
I do, but that's full of like other indie stuff and other games.
Is it a small card? Because I bought a card at launch, and that's crazy that yours is filled up that much, because I have a ton of Switch games, and I try to do almost all digital because I don't want to carry around portable stuff. And I have so much space on that thing.
And I worry a little bit about like losing the Switch and losing all the games that are on it. But at least if it's on the cloud associated with my thing, I could probably like call Nintendo at least.
And they have cloud saves now, so at least you'll have your saves.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm at this weird spot where I much prefer downloading stuff, the digital thing, but I like the backup feeling when I buy a physical thing of just knowing it'll be there. I don't know. Weird.
I don't know. I'll always back up physical. I just feel like you're right. Digital's got perks to it. They both got perks and issues with each.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly. So I think at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter which side you kind of go with.
Yeah.
Like, don't ever feel bad if you decide to go digital. But yeah, I think at this point, like, we haven't gotten to a point where it's a consumer issue yet. If you can't access a digital game anymore, like, I think the Wii eShop is like the only place so far that's an issue at.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's kind of like the big reason for me is there is that worry of, will I not have access to my games?
Yeah.
But it is so rare of that thing having ever happened that it's like there's a way better chance I might scratch my disc.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think personally I've ever scratched a disc, but I know people do, right? I worked at EB Games, and I'm sure way more people lose games, physical games, than people lose access to the license somehow. Like it rarely ever happens.
Yeah.
And then do you want to read the second part?
All right. The second part says, with the recent moves by Microsoft, such as a diskless console and making Xbox Live and Game Pass available to other platforms, how would you feel if Microsoft got out of the business of making consoles and stuck to making a marketplace for other platforms with exclusives, like Steam or the Epic Store, but not just limited to PC, and instead it also being on the Switch and the next PlayStation if all goes well with the deal?
I mean, it's a PC gamer. I'm for it. I'm good. They can do that to me.
I mean, they already announced today that Game Pass was coming. Game Pass, or no, Microsoft exclusives are coming to Steam now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they announced that it was today that like, if you Gears 5 will be on Steam and Halo Infinite will be on Steam, and Game Pass is coming to the Windows 10 store.
Yeah. It's smart for Microsoft.
I probably
to, like,
wouldn't like it because then Sony has no competition.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, and which competition is good for the consumer. It's you know why they're constantly trying to one up each other, and we win because of that. I also wouldn't like it because the Xbox One X is the most powerful console, so we would lose that. And then we would get kind of just whatever Sony is good with putting out, and they wouldn't be trying to one up or make a more powerful one or whatever like that.
So if that happened, would it just kill console gaming? Because at that point, like, why wouldn't people just buy a cheaper PC that's obviously better than the PS5 if they had no competition?
If I had to guess, as someone who is primarily console,
Mhm.
PC gaming is complicated, and I still don't really know how that graphics card ended up in my PC.
The entry bar is lower. For
way
console
lower
gaming.
on the PlayStation. Like if something is not working right on my PlayStation, it's usually like turn it off and on. It's not an issue of like, oh, we got to go into like the command panel and you got to do this and your glasses master race or whatever.
I mean, that's the same for PC though, unless the only difference is on PC you could fix the problem yourself, whereas Sony you have to send it to a company now if it's really bad.
I guess yeah, that's true. But I
you
feel
can turn
like
a computer on and off again and reload a game to fix it.
That's true, but as like I guess if I'm thinking like the console lifespan, I will know I can always run the games. They will always work. Whereas my PC is kind of like it is a time bomb, and I don't know if it can run with my stuff. Like I don't really know. I don't know how to make it. Like personally, the skill is so much higher than I need for my the console. The console, I know it'll just work. There is no stress involved whatsoever.
But if there were no consoles, you would have known that stuff anyway, because you wouldn't have.
I mean, I'd have to learn it. I'd have to learn it.
But if you didn't get into console gaming ever, I'm saying, you would just know that stuff because it's the way things would be done. You would know what to upgrade to and stuff.
I guess in the hypothetical world, if consoles never exist, specifically with this question, I feel like it's, and then in the way you have altered the question, it's kind of PC or console gaming stopping, right?
Yeah, stopping. Yeah.
So at that point,
So
I
you
would
would
just
have to learn it.
I would have to learn it if I wanted to keep going with it.
Yeah.
Whereas if consoles didn't stop, it's like I can still just be an idiot and still have everything looking fantastic. With my X and my.
You could hire people to just build your PC for you too.
I could. But that's no concern with my Xbox. I don't need to hire anyone. I don't need to do anything. I know it'll run whatever they put out.
Sure, but if your Xbox didn't exist and the PS5 was garbage because of it, because they no longer had to compete, would that be enough of an incentive for you to be like, you know what, maybe I'll take the like half an hour to actually read a website on what I should get, rather than like give this company $1,000 for garbage?
I guess with me, I might do the console still, knowing it's
Okay.
not great.
Okay.
Just because I'd always be worried, like, is my computer running this nicely, or is the PlayStation going to be running it better? And I don't want to deal with having to buy parts to make sure it's running how it should on my PC.
Sure. Okay. I think there's a lot of people that would agree with you, for what that's worth.
Yeah, and I mean there obviously is. That's how there's a console market.
I mean, and that's why like Apple is the biggest selling thing, because people just like the fact that they can buy an iPhone and it works the way they know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. John, what do you think if the Xbox went away?
I think you're right in that the console market would stagnate. But we're already getting close to kind of an event horizon where like consoles aren't really getting that much better. So it's kind of a tough point. At that point, it becomes more about features than the actual like graphics. Hence why the Switch kind of carved out a nice niche.
Yeah.
Sure. Nintendo always does that, right?
They do.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I feel like the real problem I have with Microsoft becoming like an app store suddenly is they're not good at it currently.
All right.
Do you mean like a Game Pass? Because that's what they're kind of.
No.
Mentioned.
I mean more like Windows 10 store.
Sure.
People give Windows 10 store a lot of crap, so I feel like if they were better about that stuff, then I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, go for it.
Sure.
But I don't know. I think I'd rather have Microsoft still making consoles, even though it seems like, based off how this one goes, I wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of stepped out of the market. They said they have 2 new models in work, Scarlet and whatever the other one is. I'm curious to see what they're actually going to reveal next year or later this year.
I bet we hear about it at E3 if it's coming next year.
I think they'll make a blurb about it. Like, I don't think Microsoft's going to be the first to pull the trigger this year, because that kind of shot them in the foot last year or last console generation. So
do you mean first like talking about it? Because Sony already did that.
No, like first like revealing all like the features and stuff.
Okay, well, Sony revealed a bunch of their features. I would have said they have already pulled the trigger.
I didn't think of it that way, but you might be right on that. I don't know.
I feel like the big trigger is, for whatever features it is the price.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Microsoft should leave the console game. That competition is needed for sure.
All right, those are the questions for this week. If you want to send in questions for next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. What's your games of the week?
I guess I don't know if I can say it, but I guess Katana Zero.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give mine to Hades.
I'll give mine to Plague Tale. That ending. Oof.
All right. Yeah, so stay tuned. That was a little bit of a preview, I guess, because after this we'll be recording our TDP Plus episode for Katana Zero. So if you're a Patreon backer, get excited for that. If you're at the right tier, you can watch that live. And we also have the results of the poll for the June game, and that is John's Castlevania Anniversary Collection.
I'm so excited. Oh my god.
So we'll be talking and playing that at the end of June.
We get to play Castlevania 3 again, John. We did it.
I know.
We get to talk about it again.
We get to bring it back.
Yeah.
Which Castlevania is the one that doesn't feel like garbage?
Oh, you're gonna have a tough time. That is my dude.
That is.
We'll talk more. We'll talk more.
Oh boy.
All right. Thanks everyone. We'll be back next week. See you later.
See ya.
Oh boy.